In this video, I'm targeting some pre-spawn pike. When I had it all on the water, I tend to take 8 weights, one with a floating line, a second with a sink tip, and a third with a full sinking line. The 3 different fly rods allow me to get into different depths of water. So deeper waters, I can use a full sinking line. And then between the floating line and the sink tip line, I can play around in that 6 to 3 foot range of water. When I take the boat out, I'm looking for a couple different things, usually shallow bays, especially with a darker bottom or sections of darker bottom. The darker areas tend to warm up a little bit quicker, especially if they're shallow, and it allows the pike, or at least entices the pike, to move in a little bit earlier to start warming up. This day was filmed on a day pretty much a couple days after ice off, so we just got maybe 2 days of full sun into those areas, but there was still this morning about 2 inches of snow on the ground. I usually use articulated flies, imitating different minnow patterns, something with a lot of good movement. If I'm using a floating line, oftentimes I use a sinking head on my fly. It allows me to undulate the fly through the water. Plus, I can search different areas of the water column by allowing it to sink a little bit further. I can fish that deeper water. I can fish it a little bit slower with a sinking line because I can control before it hits the bottom. I can give it a little tug, a little jerk, a little pull of the line, and that brings the fly back up. And if I let it sit, then it sinks. Full sinking lines, typically you've got to fish a little bit quicker, although you can get them down into deeper water as well. So you've got to kind of play that, per where you're fishing. And then the sink tips, depending on the size of the sink tip, the length, you can play different levels of the water column, but typically with the sink tips, I'm fishing in roughly 6 feet of water. I didn't catch any huge fish this day. Part of the reason might have been just because of how early it was or the area that I was fishing. Oftentimes, if you do find one fish, there are more in that area. So make sure to cover that area well. I do a searching pattern, casting every 8 to 10 feet in a circular direction around the boat. Make sure to change your retrieve speed as the fly is coming in. Each cast until you catch a fish. Try working the fly a little bit slower, a little bit faster, until you find what is working for you. Because you're searching, oftentimes it takes a little while to cover an area. If you're fishing a larger lake, it might take you several days to really figure out where the fish are. Once you find the fish, oftentimes each year when you guys come back to that area, you're going to find pike in that same section or area again. All these fish were caught and released on the same day. This is pre-spawn. I like to, especially this is a home lake for me, so this is one in my home area near my house. Nice thing about it is that by putting the fish back, I can come back the next year, the following year, they might be a little bit bigger. And all good things do have to come to an end, as this was my last fish of the day. Ended up having to go in and fix some dinner for the family after this, but it was a good day overall. It was the first fly fishing adventure of 2020, so where the ice had just gotten off the water, and was able to get out there and catch some fish, so always a good day. Again, hit me up anytime in the comment section if you have questions, and please subscribe to my channel.